Hey, good morning. This is just, I get prompted to share things. Okay, if you'll probably notice, usually in the morning, there are things that come to me that are meant to be shared. I'm prompted to share them, I put them up, and then you don't see anything for the rest of the day. Okay, there's a reason why that happens. Because it means that I'm sharing very pertinent information that is important to send through all the neurotransmitters that are, again, another measurement of the speed at which people are becoming more aware of more data that they're running through the cosmic network of the cosmos. So I wrote some things down because the way that it works with how I experience energy, data that is spun through the biggest vortex in the cosmos, right? So if I don't write it down, it's gone. Okay, which means it's sequenced in a very particular manner only for that particular moment, and then it's gone. We don't want an AI to be able to capture that, do we? No. Because we operate on a language that doesn't exist yet for it, so that it can't figure it out. Because in order for an artificial intelligence to be able to control what it is we are, the only way it can ever do that is to be what we are, and it can't do that. Because it isn't what source is. Okay? How about the source of all neurotransmitters? How about the source from which neurons communicate to each other? Fire. Now put that together with nano-aluminum and chemtrails. What does aluminum do to the firing of the neurons? Think about that. The speed of the transmission. The central nervous system, hardwired to a reptile brain, does not want the higher cognitive network of a mammal brain to start using highly creative imagination, and then it is sending the higher speed transmission to the heart, which the heart has the most powerful neurons. Those neurons connect to other neurons within the cosmos, the cosmic network of communication between neural transmitters, Elon Musk, neural lace, artificial intelligence, hive mind, Borg. Control. AI-driven functions. Digital units. Robots. Xerox machines. They simply copy what it is they've been told to go do. A set of instructions, rule-based functions are sets of instructions. Yes, sir. No, sir. Right? That's the purpose of rule-based functions. Okay? Once you realize everything is a rule-based function, you're not running on first law neurons. Get it? First law neurons. First law, heart-based neurotransmitters, higher speed transmission of that much light that we are expanding in this universe rather than collapse it. So yes, they are universe killers, killing off neurons, killing off the neurotransmitters, misfiring the communication network. Okay, that's the nuts and bolts of it. Okay. So we got to solve this problem once and for all, don't we, light workers, light warriors, gods and goddesses? Yes. Source is concerned. We're losing too much light at a rate of speed that is unacceptable. We got to increase the speed transmission between neural transmitters in which we can increase the light. That's why the other day when I put up on my video, I said the light is increasing in the Milky Way galaxy because I have a communication network through my neurotransmitters with the galactic sun. So I know when it's experiencing, because of what it is experiencing in all the planet ships within the Milky Way galaxy, they're communicating what's happening to my heart, which is a powerful vortex of neurotransmitters. So when you have a source connection, and you have a connection with the galactic sun, and you have a connection with all the planets that are in this galaxy, then you're able to experience through all your neurotransmitters what's happening. And you're able to, excuse me, that's the junk. That's the junk. And naturally it's got to send me another pop-up because it knows what I'm doing. So it wants to distract you, not me. It doesn't want you to understand how any of this works naturally, because it's like something else that I wrote down here called the resistance that we hold on to, that is lower density consciousness experiences we're not letting go of. That's the bottom line for everybody that's here on the planet that is in resistance mode. And that can be measured by inflammation, blockages in the circuits. So why are we not letting go of them? That's the biggest question for all of us, isn't it? Here on the planet, because we don't want to lose anybody to a timeline that's going to collapse, do we? And why is that timeline going to collapse for them? Because the amount of resistance they're still holding on to, which is lower density consciousness, which is a slower speed. That's the importance of the neurotransmitters in our heart. Right? Right. That's why they're there. You know, everything has a function, right? And the universe is intelligent. It's highly creative. It's got an imagination like you wouldn't believe. I could express some things to you that I've experienced in my imagination that most people wouldn't even believe was possible. But they're possible. And the reason they're possible is because your imagination is creating a place in which your mind is in it that nobody else is, because you just created it in an instant, that fast. Remember the drill motor in the galaxy? How many galaxies you want to produce? It's in that mind of yours. So we have what I called here fear, to expand our larger perception, which is expanding the light, which is running a higher speed. When you're letting go of a fear-based reptilian experience, okay, when you let go of that, because you realize, I'm not a reptile. Are you kidding me? Okay? Mammals are higher on the evolutionary scale because they can experience more creative imagination of what's possible to experience through that imagination, because when we're running with neurotransmitters with so much love and light in our heart that we're connected with to the source from which it all comes and everything else that is living in spirit that is in that light, my God, I can experience everything. That's right. So imagine, for example, that you've got a closet that goes on forever of a suit you want to pull off of a hanger, and you decide to say, hey, I'm going to go be a wolf for a day. I'm going to be in spirit a wolf for a day. Or I'm going to be in living spirit, I'm going to be a lion for a day. I'm going to be a horse for a day. You see what they do with horses, right? They make money off the spirit that is in a horse, and they get rich off the spirit. That's what they do. They exploit us. They exploit the living spirit that they are not, because they can't generate enough spiritual energy to experience the rest of the cosmos with. So what do? They use our spirit to accumulate more energy and then have the audacity to sell it back to us, that which we are that gave it to them. That's insanity. Why would we do that to ourselves? Fear, because they got more money, which in our mind represents power, okay, which is insane because that's false, okay? Fear didn't create the universe, and fear of losing energy and fear of not having enough money is insanity. That's why when I was a child growing up, I couldn't actually get rid of it fast enough, because it represents black magic. I don't live in a black magic world, but they flooded this planet with black magic. Okay? Demonics. Demonic technology, because that's who they are. They're demons. So they feed on our pain and suffering. So that's why everything that they do, through every institution that they set up, that everybody calls civilization, civilized, are you kidding me? Take a look around you. Start gathering all the data. Simply look at the purity of the air that you're breathing. Look at the purity of the water that you're drinking. Look at the purity of the soil in which your crops are growing, and tell me. Put a value tag on all that. Because all of that toxicity is why everybody's going to the doctor every day. And they don't know shit for Shinola how your biotech works to begin with. If they did, it's like a lady I told at Renown Hospital the other day. You know, they can plug you up to a computer, have all the original data, which is the light codes that exist in the third pole, and just put all that information back in based on the analog that created it. But it's got to be exactly in the exact data. How do I put this? It has to be specific to a set of specifications that was created through analog consciousness. They don't know how to do that. We do. Because we came before the computer, right? So anyway, I wanted to mention that neurons that fire exist within the entire cosmic network of all thought speed of the cosmic mind in hyperspace. It is the fire of the soul is firing the neutrons that communicate with each other. Okay? That allows us to communicate with every other neuron. Okay? That exists within Laniakea. And for me, the entire cosmos. Because imagine this. Imagine that you think Source, the source from which all souls come, can't communicate with something else that exists within the universe, no matter where it is. You don't think there's a separation like somebody's on one side of the street, there's somebody on the other side of the street, and they can't communicate with each other. That's like saying the Source can't communicate with the universe it created. Right. You know, it starts with Source, right? So now we're talking about the speed of the transmission to and from. How long does it take for that thought form to get to where I'm at? Because I'm communicating as Source to something that's 50 levels above the echo. Hey, I'm calling you. Can you hear me? Deaf ears. Wait, there's something way up there on the echo that can't communicate back to us? Is it that far gone? So imagine you can be in living spirit wherever you want to be. You think Source can't do that? So this gets down to, for example, that's why Elon Musk, Gates, Microsoft, Apple, all your big telecoms, Draco Fearbased DARPA, Orion Group, want to put the fire out in our soul. The fire of the neurotransmitters of speed communication to the morphogenetic field structure. They don't want anybody to wake up. They want everybody in a fear-based brain. That way your bandwidth channel of communication is always in a perception level with a Draco or the reptile. So go look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you a reptile? Are you in fear of who you are? Because that's what it boils down to. That's an identity function. What's your identity? I'm a forever being in living spirit, constantly broadcasting the hottest light in the purest spirit. So we experience no contamination in the entire cosmos ever. I'm not supposed to experience contamination. Everything is about purity. So the only way that anybody can experience purity is to have enough fire in their soul and the neurotransmitters to burn it off wherever it exists. But I'm not supposed to experience that contamination, am I? No. Then explain why you are. Because there isn't enough people burning that much heat. Why not? Now we're back to the previous video. An equal playing field. So that's why we have so many beings that are not connected to Source. And you begin to understand why our DNA is so valuable. So when you're aware that there is a being that can't run as hot as we can, that's painful for me. Because it means that they can't experience the entire universe in the way in which we do. But that's their free will, isn't it? It's like it's my free will, your free will, everybody's free will. You want to experience being a demon? That's your free will to do that. You got to find some way to, how do I put this? Answer the causality. Why are there demons? I'm not supposed to experience a demon. Why are there demons? Who invented that idea? Oh, well, you're supposed to experience demons so you can know the difference between what you are and what you're not. Well, what if I was never a demon? Source is not a demon. Well, but Source has got to experience what a demon is, because anything that's possible to experience, he's got to experience. That becomes a rationale for causation, doesn't it? Of why we experience it. Yeah, but Source says, I'm not supposed to experience it. Then don't experience it. What you choose to experience is up to you. Yeah, so now we're back to the previous video. You can't unknow something that you're already aware of. Well, just do a memory wipe. I'll go be with a goddess. Yeah, but the goddess knows that demon exists because that demon's within her. It is? Yeah. Why do you think all these tunnel networks are being taken out? That's all demonic technology. Was there ever a time that the goddess in this planet never, ever, ever, ever experienced a demon? Ever? How do you unknow something like that? Memory wipe it. Now you begin to understand why they erased the Milky Way galaxy. Why they would erase the universe. So that it never becomes a part of anything that anybody ever experiences in the entire cosmos. Okay, that's the lesson for the day. Have a great day. I love you all.